for the time being, we're picking over the bones of some of the results last night, and some of the results last night left you pretty much open mouth. Newcastle going to Villa, not only winning, but winning well. Luton taking on Brighton at home, and not only winning, but winning very well. And Crystal Palace, my goodness, they needed a win, and this was a much-needed win for Palace after a run of 1 win in 12. They beat Sheffield United. They got there in the end by 3-2. At the upshot, Roy Hodgson, post-match, delighted with the Crystal Palace fight back.
Well, fun enough, one is relieved because we found ourselves 1-0 down after a minute and 2-1 down after doing so well to get back in the game, and they scored almost immediately and put themselves back in front again. So full credit to the players, one, for showing that durability, and most importantly, congratulations to them for playing what I thought was one of our best halves of football in the last few years, where we created numerous opportunities and played extremely well. And their 2 goals, frankly, came from a result of our goalkeeper having next to nothing to do.
That was Roy Hodgson after Palace got there in the end. Danny, before the match, he was asked, is this must win? And he didn't like the question, didn't really answer the question. Do you think it was must win for Roy?
Probably. Yeah, the way the fans have turned a little bit recently. He's getting grumpy in his old age, isn't he? You know what? It was a huge win to settle everybody down. I think the reality is that a lot of recent games for Palace haven't been particularly entertaining or successful. And if you don't have either, the fans are going to get annoyed. If you're losing games and not having a go, when I say not having a go, they're trying. What I mean is they're not on the front foot. That's Roy's way. That's the way they play. It's a bit more conservative. It's always been that way. And it's got Palace to where they need to be in terms of keeping them up last year. What I would say in his defence is that he has rarely had the opportunity to play Elise and Eza in the same 11 very often this season. If you have 2 players with such their creativity and their ability, it allows you to win more football matches because they are super players. Now, if you saw the goals last night, I mean, Eze's first.
Oh, they were great goals.
Eze's first and second, they're all great goals.
Yeah.
And the reality is that if you're playing for if you're trying to manage a Palace team without your 2 most creative players, you're going to score fewer goals, and you're not going to look as creative. And he's been given peanuts to spend. So I know that fans like to see this front foot, energetic team that has a go. But the reality is, if you do that without your best players, you're going to get done every week.
Yeah.
So will Palace be okay? Yes. Will it be magical football and change dramatically while Roy's there? No. So I think we talked about it with Simon the other week. The logical thing would be to let Roy stay till the end of the season. They'll stay up. I'm telling you that now. With Roy in charge, they'll stay up. And then make a good plan for what's next.
I mean, the good plan has got to be a good plan because something's got to change, albeit they won last night, Dean. But
keep staying in the Premier League doesn't need to change, Jim.
No, I get that, but we saw the protests from sections of the Palace support at Arsenal. And some of them aren't happy, Danny. You can go on into season to season, sure, and carry on and survive in the Premier League. But at some stage, it's got to be more than that.
Well, he's only spent 39 million, something like that, 40 million maybe.
Yeah, Danny's right about that.
So if you spend that amount of money, bearing in mind they're 14th in the league right now, Bournemouth are 1 spot above them, who've spent 90 million. Roy Hodgson, in his first spell as manager, hardly spent a penny. And this time he's spent 39 million since he's gone back in there. You are risking getting relegated. I'm sorry. The league table doesn't lie. If you look at the league table, wage bill league, if you put the league table wage bill league up there, it'll look roughly the same as the league table right now. The top 6 spend the most money. The bottom 3 spend the least money.
Yeah.
And so Crystal Palace are risking getting relegated. They've signed 4 or 5 players, and they've lost Zaha. And there was a stat at one point that they hardly won a game without Zaha.
They're having a little go this window, aren't they? They've signed the Colombian right back.
20 million of that was on Henderson, the goalkeeper.
But I'm sure Crookie will fill us in if we've got him on later.
No, but you're right, Danny. Compared to what they're spending and the expectation, that they are not in parallel. Roy has done well with what he's got.
What it is, Jim, is these days you're looking for... Tottenham's a great example of a fan base that is really enjoying and excited by the style of football.
Yeah.
And not so concerned anymore after a couple of years watching a lethargic, pragmatic team. Tottenham fans are enjoying what they're doing and not so worried about winning every game and winning trophies. They want to win trophies, but they're not as bothered. The priority's gone to at least entertain us.
Yeah.
And fans are going more that way, where they're paying a lot of money to go and watch, where they want their team to be on the front foot and having a go. But it's very difficult when you're one of the teams on a lesser budget with lesser players to be on the front foot and have a go, because you're chasing shadows. You're up against that much quality. I've been in a team that's not tried to do it.
Sure.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
So it's having an understanding as a fan. I mean, you're not going to change your team, of course, and switch over. And I understand they always want more, but there's a reality check that's needed at times.
Fair enough. Did either of you see Newcastle going to Villa Park and not just winning, but winning well?
No, not with Villa's home form, and Villa flying. Newcastle struggling for results, can't seem to get all the best players on the pitch. But last night, I think they deserved to win. You know,
do you know? You didn't watch it?
I did. I watched it.
You saw the goals at breakfast this morning.
Yeah, I watched the goals, and they could have scored a few more, actually. But Newcastle played really well. But Villa, strange performance from Villa. They've been miles better than they played last night.
They were due. Villa's form at home has been nothing short of sensational, unexpected, and impossible to keep on. You know,
How do you know?
level.
You never watched it.
Huh? No, I didn't. I'm not talking about their performance. They lost 3-1. The result tells you they didn't play well. What I'm saying is there's going to be the odd blip in the road for Villa, and it's just one. It's
well, they haven't won, Danny. I mean, it's
not
one
a big
win
deal.
in 5 in the league for
them. Is it really? Well,
yeah.
Okay, maybe that is their little bad spell.
People will start questioning the high line. You know, with Spurs are playing the high line, Villa play the high line, and managers eventually work it out. If you play a system, managers sit down with the analysts and they watch and watch and watch, and they work out a way of passing balls in behind your back four if they're too high up. It don't take long.
Yeah.
Good point.
It was quite a night, I must admit. And as I said, some of the results we witnessed, we did not expect to see. And Newcastle going there and winning pretty well. And now the table shows that Newcastle climbing a bit, but they've got to. Do you expect Villa to stay in and around top 4, Danny?
I think this next couple of games for them is hugely important for that.
It tells us more about what direction they're going to go in.
Yeah, I mean, of course, if you're in the top 4 at this stage of the season, you're in with a chance, and they've got really good players. It's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back from this little bad spell, and react to their first little bit of doubt and criticism. Yeah,
Sure.
We'll wait and see. But they've got a chance, mate. Yeah, they've got a chance.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the TalkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. TalkSPORT.